Okay, Mayor.
Texas is special.
Can you tell me your last
That's
name?
my life, chickens. TCLEN.
I'll have nightmares about it.
Laixlain.
Have you seen any cockroaches in there?
Dead ones.
I've seen them.
All right, I think it's 6 o'clock. It's time to call our meeting to order. First, we approval of the minutes from the last meeting. First off, I want to welcome everybody here. I think it's a while since we've had everybody here. Thank you all for making the effort to get here tonight. Thank you very much. And we have a very important. It's very important that we all are here, because especially tonight, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. But anyway, approval for the minutes from the last meeting. Anybody have any corrections or comments on those minutes?
I just have a comment. So the last part of the agenda for the minutes didn't have anything about our discussion about the church league. It had the letter from the lawyer, but there's no, if I remember, I just looked before, there's no content related to our comments.
Well, I don't know if that we had, I guess we could have had, had a few things we talked about.
Yeah, the church open league.
There's a,
Yeah.
put it alone.
Like Mindy asked why it's called church, city's
Right.
to host, Bill asked for the
I
businesses.
didn't see any, I saw
Number.
the letter copy, but
Last page-ish. So like, and it starts
Yeah,
at the previous
okay.
page. See if that's what you're looking for.
I didn't-
All right, that's
never mind.
number
Nicely done.
14 there.
All good.
Maybe this is not what was emailed this afternoon?
Yeah, the one I
Right.
saw online.
Just,
Online one didn't have any.
All good, friend?
Yes, the online one, though, if it's different than this, didn't have any of this content at all. One we were emailed this morning from Ray.
What you emailed was
Minutes is all
different.
I sent.
Yeah, but it wasn't this one though.
Yeah, that's right. It
I'll
was
notice
just
that.
the top one plus the supporting documents, instead of the top one plus this, the email that you sent. But that's okay, we've got it now.
I'm
That
sorry.
might be the- That might have been the agenda from the last meeting you sent to me.
I'm sorry.
With
I
the-
sent the wrong thing.
I was wondering, but I thought, I said, well,
No.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think it really matters, but my last name has an E on it,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that really is that procedural.
see that his last name has an E on it.
Oh,
Steel.
Steel, yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I just have like questions about follow-ups to things, like Jay said he had 2 more people approved for the city, and then, like how, does that come out today where we see, was anybody hired for that department? Like follow-ups coming, okay. Yeah.
Any other comments, questions about the minutes? Now that we have them in there and everybody? And do I have a motion that we accept the minutes as read? So move, second?
Second.
Second. All approved for the minutes, raise your right hand, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Public input, comments from the community. I see we have one person. Would you like to speak to the committee?
People do not actually, when people in the city do not take into consideration there is ADA people present. I'm very happy that the city actually took up the work of actually redoing all the sidewalks, but people been driving don't have enough common sense that you need to look and drive. You can't blindly drive. That is something that I drive a tricycle and I've been run into at multiple times when I'm cycling on the sidewalk and trying to cross the street, and I press the thing and it says walk. Like, where do people think their common sense is when they probably left it somewhere? So I think people have to be more observant is what I would like to say. And thanks for the city for doing the sidewalks.
ADA accessibility and pushing the button to cross the sidewalks, and people aren't stopping when the button's flashing that people are crossing. So just wants more awareness for safety.
Okay, I don't know if that's us or not, but it's okay.
And
That's,
thanks
thank
for
you
the
for that.
sidewalk improvements, yeah.
We'll try and pass that on to the appropriate committee that takes care of that, the appropriate people. But that necessarily fall under our focus, but we'll be glad to pass it on to them.
His name.
Huh?
Do we need his
Yeah,
name?
we need to get his name, don't we? Yeah, we need to get your name on, you need to sign, that you came and spoke to us about that. So if you have a moment, you can come up here and,
Stick it on this thing for him.
just have him right on the back of this. You know.
He has a business card.
Driver's license.
Right there.
I'm bringing this up because I think most of the police officers who go on this, so I live on College Avenue, and most of the police officers, because the police officers right here, and they have seen me on my cycle, and most of them recognize me.
Okay. Peter, do you want to speak?
Sure.
Yeah. Just,
I think it's just your name and address. Name and address, right?
that's all, name and address, all we
We can
need.
leave it right there, because I think I have to sign it too. Yeah, my name is Peter Hyatt. I used to serve on this board, so thanks for what you do. I just had I guess a suggestion or idea for the new skate park at Clemson Park. So, and this idea would be for a memorial plaque in honor of Roland Lee. So, about 2.5 years ago, I started a nonprofit called Skate Upstate to raise money to build a skate park in the upstate. Mayor Halfacre had invited me to a city council meeting to present the idea to the city council, and 2.5 years later, we have a state-of-the-art skate park at Clemson Park. I don't know if you've been over there yet, but so around the time I was starting the nonprofit, he introduced me to Susan Ramey, who works for the city, who is friends with Roland Lee's daughter. And so her name is Marshall. She lives in Tennessee. A little background on Roland Lee. She was a special education teacher at Westminster Elementary School for 38 years. This top picture is her with a group of skateboarders in 2010. Those kids in Roland raised about $11,000 to try to build a skate park in various cities, Westminster, different places, and it just never came to fruition. And so that money's just been sitting there. Mayor Halfacre put me in touch with her, and I told her, I told Marshall.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyway, so when we started a nonprofit, I talked to Marshall, who's Roland's daughter, told her our vision for skateboarding, for a skate park, and she donated her $11,000 to Skate Upstate as we continue to raise money. And so to honor Roland, I thought it would be an awesome idea to put a plaque in her honor. She passed away at the age of 81 in 2022. She never saw her dream of a skate park for kids to come alive, but it happened. So my vision and Roland's was the same, and just to honor her, just present the idea of a simple plaque to potentially be attached to. There should be a shaded cover between this pump track and the skate park, or really anywhere, just to honor a lady who loved her community in the upstate. But yeah, that's just my idea. It doesn't have to be done, but I would love to do it. Skate Upstate can pay for that plaque, and the monies that we've raised, we would like to donate to the Parks and Rec Department for future rolling things. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Just to let you know, we've had several people come and ask for different things likened to that. And the city has now put up a guidelines for this type of thing.
Yeah.
Naming something or putting a thing. So it does fall out, but and what we have to do to pass it to the right people to make that decision. I think eventually that's offered to be approved by city council.
Sure.
In there, but there is a process now that the city just adopted not too long ago of naming places, because they didn't have a process.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were several things. We've had at least, this is the
So,
third.
Want to do one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
This is at least three things that have come up to name something in the park system that I've been aware of. So we'll definitely follow up with that and go and let you know what the next step, because you'll probably have to come to city council after we go with that.
Okay. Just an idea.
Thank you for
Thank you for your time.
Is that
Yeah.
correct, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Peter. I want to thank you for all your service to us in years past. Thank you. All right, I think we go into department reports. Lacey, I think you're up first with your programs.
Yes, sir. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone's having a great time. So we've had an eventful summer, and hopefully an eventful fall and winter time, but I'll go over winter in another meeting. So for summer, we had a successful truck and Camp Clemson with a few bumps in the road, of course, but summer camp's never going to be perfect. So we hosted about 150 kids this past summer, and then about 15 to 25 of the Trek kiddos. So that ranged from anywhere from 12 to 13 this year. Or sorry, 11, I misspoke. 11 to 13 this year at the elementary school, completely separate from Camp Clemson. They had their own field trips. They went to the firehouse this year, got to do the whole experiment with the firehouse, and they got to talk about their really cool job. So we did escape rooms. We had Two Hearts Rehabilitation come in and speak with our kids. They got to meet a baby possum and a baby raccoon, which fulfilled my heart entirely. Our Camp Clemson kids also had a really great summer. We introduced a new system called Kid Check, which was pretty successful in keeping track of who's all here, who is not here, who has allergies, who doesn't have allergies, kind of thing. Highly 10 out of 10 suggest it. So kind of for our programs this year, for fall time, we are looking into our picnic in the park. That's gonna be at Nettles Park, Ashley Deering, and Dawson Park this summer, I am talking so fast and I'm catching up with myself. For this fall, we're gonna have Elsie Branch, Angela Easterling, and then we're also gonna have Trudell Music Studio coming in. And then we are also looking into Christmas as well, down on the Ave. Halloween will also be on the Ave as well, on October 28th. And then, I'm trying to think of what else. I think those are all of our big major events, and also Day of Play on September 27th. So pre-registration is open until September 22nd. But yeah, that's about it. We have a really busy fall time and a winter time coming up soon, so stay tuned for those announcements. Does anyone have any questions?
When's the Christmas parade?
Yeah, so the Christmas parade is going to be scheduled for December 2nd with a rain date of December 4th.
I just would say, I did went by their camp, I think it was four times.
Yeah.
in the summer, and they were full, and they were busy and stressed a little bit, but because they are having the first time.
First time at Camp Clemson
And,
camp this
and
year.
so they were taking care of things and running it very well. And I went by there at the end to wish them they'd already left. They already packed up and gone. By the week I went by at the end. But thank you for the work this summer. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure, and it was really great getting to know, if y'all have any kids in Camp Clemson, it was great getting to know some of your kiddos, and also the parents as well, and getting some really good feedback on how we can improve for next year. I always take feedback in, and I apply it and try to make it as best as I can with the approval of Jay, of course. But yeah, if there's any other questions.
Does the relationship with Clemson Elementary continue year after year?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so we partnered with Clemson Elementary this year, and most likely for next year as well. We meet with the principal every year to kind of go over expectations and what we're allowed to use, what we're not allowed to use, and then we'll probably further that on relationship-wise with R.C. Edwards to transition track back over to R.C. Edwards, just to kind of keep it 100% separate, but it's also not always guaranteed as well. So, but yeah.
All right, I want to take a quick, I want everybody to say their name. We got everybody here, and I don't believe, some people might not know some of the people, and I should have done that at the beginning, and I want to take that. So, Mike, start with you, please, let's people know who you are, Michael, please.
My name is Michael Steele.
Jacob Wichels.
Fran McGuire.
Crystal Garrison.
Bailey Dull.
Bill Caraway.
Kyle McLean.
Robert Kemp.
Sarah Williams.
And Mindy Spearman.
So I think that public would, because since we're being taped, they might appreciate knowing that, Yeah. So, but thank you. I meant to do that at the beginning, and it kind of slipped my mind there. Okay, I think Lauren, you're up next.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Gamrat. I'm the Tourism and Community Events Coordinator for the city. I'm just going to touch on a few highlights real quick from my notes. So I finished my third and final year of marketing college in Macon, Georgia. I will be receiving my TMP certification, Tourism Marketing Professional certification, next month. I'm so excited to have that. I learned a lot over the last 3 years. I made a lot of friends in the tourism industry all over the Southeast and within the state. So that was a really great experience. So we all know the Savannah Bananas came in April. So I'm just gonna give you guys the total estimated economic impact was around $846,000. So that's great. We love that. So hopefully there will be more opportunities in the future to have them back and to work with the university to have large scale events like that. What else? I'm talking with a couple groups. One's called Scriptless in Seattle, and they're like an improv comedy group made up of like 5 gentlemen of all different ages, and they would like to add Clemson as a leg on their tour. So I'm talking with the Brooks Center, meeting with them next week to talk about that more, and also to introduce myself to the new director at the Brooks Center. She's very nice, so I'm excited to meet her. And then also, I've been talking with a group, it's called Miss Savannah's Southern Stomp. So it's guided line dancing. They'll have a few, instructors come in and teach a couple line dancing routines. And then they're gonna have like music and games and photo opportunities, things like that. So we're hoping to have that in the spring when we wanna have it outside at a venue. So we're waiting until, the weather warms up. Wait till this weather cools down and then the weather warms back up in the new year. So that's really exciting. I know line dancing is really popular now, like on social media, TikTok, things like that. So I know there's people out there that like to do it. I'm not a great dancer, so I may or may not. I might watch like from the sidelines, but I might get in there and do a little something. So that's different and exciting. And the Passport 3.0 is officially out and about. For those of you who are new to the Passport, it is a shopping local initiative, and there are participating locations. You go and make a purchase, you get a stamp, you collect so many stamps, you come to me for a Passport exclusive prize. So this is the third installment of this. We made it a little more tourism focused and added passports to the South Carolina State Visitor Centers. So people that are coming through can pick one up, check out our local spots, restaurants, shops, and we've included hotels this year. So if you're staying in one of our hotels, you get a stamp. You just have to have proof of your reservation, your stay. So that's good and exciting. But yeah, anyone have any questions?
Sound like you've been very busy. When you go to these conferences, what is ideas that you bring back? Anything you bring, you do bring ideas back, I'm sure.
Yes. So I belong to the South Carolina Sports Association, and they do a lot of trade shows where they talk to sports tournament planners. So I received the list for, it's called the National Sports Relationship Conference, and they hold it all across the country each year, and this year is the first time it's being held in South Carolina. It's going to be in Columbia in September. So I will go and talk to people who organize like the National Cornhole Tournament and like a 3-versus-3 soccer, and there's a National Scrabble Association where people compete and play Scrabble. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that that was a thing. So I just talked to people and, hey, like, you should come to Clemson, like, this is what we offer. So it's a lot of that, a lot of relationship making, a lot of group recruiting. So soccer, baseball.
So sports-oriented thing.
Yes.
I'm sure there are other festivals and whatever that falls in line with that too.
Yes, yeah, all kinds of stuff. It's a very...
So maybe you're trying to promote Clemson to bring things here.
Yes, to bring heads and beds.
To keep the town busy.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we want. We want people here in our hotels and our shops, and we want them to come back. That, I think, is the most important part. So I know for me personally, I've traveled here on and off my entire life, and like I knew like this was a repeat visit for me. It was just it was so much more than just a place you went on vacation. It was like home. So that's what we want to bring to our visitors. So.
Thank you. Any other questions for Lauren? Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, thank you.
Busy. Thank you. All right, I think our next one coming up is, Tony, do you have something you want to tell us about?
Hey, everybody. Jay asked me to come give you an update on Clemson Park, what's going on out there. Phase 1 is complete, as Peter was talking about. That was the skate park. Spawn Ranch came in and did a great job building the skate park. It's still behind the fence. It's still a construction site. Folks are still kind of squeezing in there from time to time, so we're encouraging them to not do so. But they're eager to get out there and use the new park. New Terrain was the grading contractor. They came in and they put a whole underground stormwater system underneath that skate park to handle all the water. There's a lot of hydrology that comes across that park, and it was really important that we were able to handle all of that volume. They also did some backfilling for Spawn Ranch. They worked with a really tight schedule and did a great job. Phase 2 will include fine grading, sidewalk installation, landscaping, demolition, and construction of a new pavilion with a splash pad and redoing the parking area. So there's a good bit that's going to happen in that Phase 2. Phase 2 bid opening was held July the 30th, and that's when all the bids come in. Sit here and you open it up and you look at all of them, see who got the low bid, and New Terrain was awarded that bid. We were pretty happy about that. New Terrain said that they were set to start this September. They anticipate this skate park area to be open midwinter. So that's kind of important because we're going to move that fence. Once that area is open, move that fence before they start on the pavilion and open that area up so everybody can kind of have at that part of the park. City Council approved that contract on the August 12th meeting, so they're moving ahead with that, and they're looking to complete the entire project by the middle of 2026. So that's everything, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. We'll be out there running around with the splash pad next year. Just wanted to say we really enjoyed working with New Terrain. We're glad that they got the bid. Just to have consistency on a multi-phase project like this is really important. They have all the elevation, they have all the numbers. You get another contractor that moves in there, things can kind of get a little bit awry. So we're really happy that they got the bid. That's all I've got, guys.
Any questions for Tony? How's the 12-mile park going?
I knew you were going to ask that.
You know I'm going.
That 12 miles doing great. Talking to Patrick, this is about the best year that we've had. And a lot of that is because we have 2 park hosts up there that are living on site. They came in on July the 3rd, right before the big weekend, and they did a great job that weekend. And they go around, they work in shifts. It's a married couple. They're from Wisconsin. It's Dean and Mary Goldbeck is their name. And they're awesome people. Mary goes out in the morning. She's more of a morning person. She goes and picks everything up. And then Dean comes out in the afternoon and follows up. And that way when Patrick comes in the morning, he doesn't have everything kind of hitting him in the face. And it's been really important for him to have them on the weekends. When he comes in on Sunday after a Saturday, he is scrambling to get the park ready, particularly the beach, because a lot of times it can be pretty trashed. And he's trying to get that beach ready while people are coming in. And with the Goldbecks there, they've been able to relieve a lot of that pressure. So hopefully we'll have the park host there every year from now on. Not necessarily the Goldbecks, but other folks. I think that's been a really good addition. We've noticed a little bit of an improvement in behavior, and I think a lot of that is because there are people on site, and they're walking around talking to people, and I think that presence makes a big difference.
I haven't been out there, but negatively, I guess, but do they wear something that identifies them as on-site people?
We've got their clothes ordered, we're just waiting on the embroidery.
But I think that would be
I think they'll have clothes by the time they leave.
that to me, that would be important to know that they're officially out there for a reason. Some colored thing or something, you know, that
They do a great job of making themselves known. I mean, they're people. And every time I drop by there in the evening, afternoon, I see Dean out there on the beach talking to folks, and they don't have a problem identifying themselves.
How's the gate working?
We've had a few issues with the gate. We had Public Works had to replace a card reader. We suspect that it was someone kind of putting one of the fraud deals in there, and it boogered up the system. The card readers are dated. So they have all this firmware associated, and I'm really talking out of turn here, but apparently they have this firmware that has got a date with it. So the backup card readers that we had didn't work. So we had to order one. It came in. It didn't work, so we had to wait another week for another one to come in. So 12 Mile was free for about a week and a half there, but everything's kind of sorted now.
And we got the fence up.
The fence is up. It's doing great. Really happy to have that. It's a lot more safe. Again, with the behavior, I feel like that really has a lot to do with improving the behavior. We were able to clear off the whole front of that park. Now you can just drive by and see everything that's going on, and that stops a lot of the funny stuff that could happen at the park.
Any other questions for Tony?
I have a question about Nettles Park. I don't know if this is time to ask, but I have a neighbor that was asking me about an indoor facility that's planned there. Is that in the works?
It is. I bet Joan could tell you all about it.
Well, they made it not an art facility, a
Oh.
like indoor sports facility.
No,
It's not in the works.
no, ma'am.
Okay. I will update my neighbor.
We'd like for it to be in the works, but it's not in the works.
Anybody else? All right, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Have a good
Thank you,
night.
Ed.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, Jay, anything particular in athletics for us?
Yeah, you saw our numbers that we have. We're up like about 80 participants overall. So, and the 680 does not include the cross-country. So we usually have 120 or so in that, so that would put us over 800. And the fall is the biggest season now by far. We had a scare, I guess you would call it, with our soccer uniforms. We ordered them in the end of August, and the end of July. And we got an email that the company was having some supply chain problems, but they have it ironed out, so we should have all of our uniforms in time. So that was a little hairy there for a couple of days. We said, oh, we're in trouble. The volleyball, as saying here, we opened it and it filled up in 4 days, 8 teams. I mean, it was quick. So it's going on as scheduled. Cross country, we start signing up September the 8th, and this program is for age 12 and under, but most of them are like 8 and under. So that's another popular program. In our tennis classes, we had them again, and we had over 60 participants in it. I'm trying to think. But that's all of that for fall.
I know happened to go out to the gym yesterday, and Shannon was out there getting ready to open up volleyball. So when I finished up in the gym, I went down. It was full. The kids were full, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They were in there, and they had different stations. They were going around doing stuff. I don't know if they were teams yet, but they were working. I couldn't tell whether they were teams, but they're.
Our younger age groups in soccer, we've had a large age group in the 9 and 10s in sports. Now we have a 5 and 6 age group is huge. We had 144 in 6U soccer this year. So
I think that says something about the rec program is it's a positive environment. Older siblings are loving it, so here comes the younger siblings want to do it too. So I think it's a compliment to the rec department.
Thank you. And our 4 and under, we have 120 in it. So it's as if you go out there on especially Tuesdays and Thursdays evening, there's cars everywhere. So
I have a suggestion for next summer. Can we have RJ do pickleball lessons?
yeah,
Like just on a couple of courts or something? I think with the popularity of that.
that's an idea.
Yeah.
I will write that down.
Okay.
Is that for youth or for adults or?
Well, like the tennis program they have in the summer.
That's that type of thing.
Right, I would think there's an interest in pickleball, maybe even more than tennis.
That's a great idea.
I got you.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Any other questions for Jay about the sports? Now, the baseball did well. They went to the 10 U's.
The 10
Went to
and
the state.
Right.
Went to the state, and the 12 U's and the 8 U's finished up very well in the district. I think second place, I believe.
Third place, yeah.
And they did very well.
They both
So
did.
it was it was a lot of fun to watch them play in there. Okay.
Is Clemson hosting any soccer all-star region district games?
We don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know yet, okay.
No, don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll host some, yes, ma'am.
All right, any other questions for Jay? All right, Joan, another, looks like busy person.
So we finished up camp as well, and we actually had Clemson University World Cinema Studies students intern with us, and they filmed a summer camp documentary in the style of The Office and Parks and Rec. It's really funny. We've seen a little bit of a preview. And it is going to air at the Art Center Saturday, September 27th. It's a Saturday from 5 to 7. We're gonna do it out in the garden with the big parks and, we're borrowing Parks and Rec's giant movie screen, and we're gonna premiere it. And then the students are gonna enter it into some film festivals. So we're really excited about that. So we have that. In June, WYFF aired our Memory Care Artist in Residency program, and then it was picked up nationally by NBC online, so it got a little bit of attention. And we continued to go through the IRB process for research with that program. We added a music artist in residency, and then we were featured in the national newsletter for the National Organization of Arts and Humanities. So that was great. We picked up some really good national attention for that program. Let's see. We've been into Charleston a few times to talk to teaching artists with a group down there. I've been all over the place, up and down the East Coast. I got a grant to travel and talk to different people for arts and wellness. So I've been doing informational interviews, which has been great. And we're piloting our first after-school program. So we're with Clemson Elementary. They're bringing the bus over. So we have, right now we have 16 kids we're piloting. We're gonna see how that goes and then open it up to more spaces we're a little limited right now too with our space. And Emily Freeland, our program manager, is designing a program for children with neurodivergence. So we had a lot of requests this year for from our counselors and our teachers on training for neurodivergence, because we have a lot of children who come to us with different challenges. And so we are going to get some formal training, and then we'll be training our counselors and our instructors with that. We also started a teen program, and that's going to run, so we're really excited with that. We haven't been able to engage the teens in the past few years, so we've got 4 people signed up right now, which is pretty good for us, for the teens. And the glass blowers are coming back for Pumpkin Palooza. They'll be here for 2 weeks, starting October 20th, and they'll be doing pumpkins, glass blowing the pumpkins. Public art. So we are continuing to work with Public Works on installing the butterflies. They have all the pads down, and the butterflies are starting to be installed tomorrow. They're gonna put them around the parks, and we have some buildings. We're going to be on the zip trip with some other departments next Friday, and announcing that the butterflies are finally up and in, and you can come and do the tour. We've actually been getting a lot of questions about that, so we're excited about that. And then we have a call out to fiber artists to create an installation in Gateway Park called Threads in the Wild, and what we're going to do is yarn tag Gateway Park and City Hall. So we're really excited about that as well. I'd like to do a presentation tonight about a new public art project called The Portal. And so you all received the feasibility study information, and I have some photos here of the Philadelphia portal. I was there last week and stopped and took photos this time of the portal, and looked at it through the eyes of a public art person who wants to put it in. So imagine standing at the hub, waving to someone in another country live and face-to-face. The portal makes this possible. It isn't just public art, it's a connection point between Clemson and the world. And what I'd like to do tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the process that we've already been through, and we're interested in getting your feedback on the project. So the portals are created by the Benediktas Gillis Foundation, located in Vilnius, Lithuania. And the portal aims to dissolve borders and foster empathy through shared human experience. The portals are immersive public circular sculptures embedded in a minimalist structure that live streams real-time videos between cities across the world 24/7, 365 days a year. Currently, there are portals in Lithuania, Lublin, Poland, Philadelphia, and Dublin, Ireland. We had an introduction meeting, and Lowell from IT, Nathan Hinkle, was in on the meeting with me, along with Nicholas Klaus. He's part of the portal team in Berlin, Germany. We all agreed that there's potential here in Clemson for the portal. Lowell and Nathan got behind the project right away. Then the second meeting was with Lowell, Allie, Bree, Natalie, Lindsay, and Lauren to explain the portal and if we should continue the conversation. Andy was not at that meeting, but he is behind the project. And at this point, I had reached out to Kurt Kavanaugh at the Flatiron Nomad Partnership, a creative placemaking initiative in New York. Kurt was part of the team that brought the portal to New York for 11 months. So public art in New York is only allowed to be viewed or out for 11 months, and then they have to either put it somewhere else or it goes back to the artist. So the New York one actually came to Philadelphia, so that's how Philly got it. So the New York portal is now in Philly City Hall courtyard. He answered all my questions, which led to more questions for Nicholas. So then Nicholas answered all my questions, and I made the recommendation to our team to move forward with the $5,000 feasibility study, and that money is already in the Public Art Fund. So if we move forward, the initial cost for the portal will be $300,000. There's additional costs for installation and shipping. The New York portal was $500,000, but the process since has been streamlined. There's an annual fee to keep it going, and that fee's figured out during the feasibility study. We are not under a contract to get the portal, just the study, if we decide not to move ahead. The video feed changes every 3 minutes to different countries, and the portal team's also working on getting ones in the UK and Brazil. There's no sound, but speakers can be attached for special projects. A plaque would need to be placed by the portal with language that it is live and human beings are involved. The study deliverables were in your packet. I have copies if anyone needs one. We can have the study finished within a month or two, depends on how fast we can gather our information. And you can name sponsors to be placed on the back of the portal, and we're hoping that the developer of the hub will be one of the major sponsors. Clemson would be the second city in the US to host a permanent portal, so it would be us in Philadelphia. And then what we would do is create programming around the portal. So we would do programming, tourism can do programming, so it has a lot of options. I would like to do this because I think it's going to put Clemson on the map for public art as well as connectiveness. And yeah, it's just a really cool project. So that's where we're at.
Does the feasibility study suggest locations, or do you already have?
We have the locate. We'd like to do it at the hub. So the reason that we'd like to do it there is because the portal can be placed to look out over Abernathy Park. So if there isn't anybody in front of the portal, you can at least look at the water. So what they'll do is when we talked with Nathan, when we had the meeting with Nathan and Lowell, we first were thinking of one of the parks downtown. Oh my gosh, the name just escaped me.
JC?
No. No.
The plaza? Or no?
The plaza.
Oh, yeah.
The plaza, yeah. But because the hub is still like in the process of being built, we can put all the wires and everything already underneath ground because they have to go underground. So we figured because it wasn't built yet, it would be easier to install.
Wherever the proposed location is at the hub, is there flat space so you could have like a dance performance or something in front? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So this would be in the plaza of the hub. So yeah. So
How does it work?
It's done with. That is a low question, I'm gonna say. There was a lot of talk between him and Nicholas, but basically it's like over the internet live stream. So similar to like a Skype or I guess a Facebook,
It's power, internet connection, and the city provides all that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a wired connection.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's why Lowell was in on the preliminary meeting, because I wasn't sure it was even possible.
And I don't understand the screen part. Is it hollow or does it have a background?
No, so it has, so what it is, it's a solid piece around, and then it's almost like a flat screen TV. So in the front, it is a screen. You can knock on the screen, and then there's, all your wiring in the back, but you don't see it because it's all covered.
So this is live streamed from here to elsewhere?
Yeah, so it also changes every 3 minutes in the other countries.
I think it was in New York, maybe?
Yes, they had an issue. Yes. So they did have an issue in New York where somebody held up, because it was just New York and Dublin at the time. Somebody made fun of the potato famine, and then somebody on the other side had some had some photos from September 11th. They shut down both portals and talked with both cities. And that's when they had to put up the language, that, like this is.
Maybe I forget something else. Wasn't it New York also that had it closed down because the public were like exposing themselves.
Yeah, it
That
sounds
is
like
possible.
security.
So ours will be open all the time, or just
So you
program?
could shut it down. There is a possibility of shutting it down at night. It's not recommended because that's not what the project's about, but it is possible. New York wound up shutting it down in the wee hours of the night. As Kurt said, New York does sleep. So they did shut it down for a period of time in the middle of the night.
What was security? What do you do for security then? Is it monitoring?
So I will say in Philadelphia, somebody did break the screen, and it was in Love Park, and somebody did break the screen, and so that's why they moved it to City Hall. There's a courtyard there with cameras.
That's such a cool idea. You just hate it to be misused.
Yes. There's always those issues with public art, though. I mean, there's always those issues.
I think that sounds good.
So the hub doesn't come to sponsor, or that doesn't fruition, then it'll just look for another opportunity.
We will have to look for more opportunities for sponsorships, yes. The first thing is that we need to see if it's even feasible. So, doing the $5,000 out of the public art fund seems like to me is a good idea, just to see if we can do this and talk through talk through all of it. Anytime you do a public art project like this, there's always this type of study, and there's always these questions that you have to work through. But you can't work through anything until you do the feasibility study.
So just listening to you, it sounds like you're very connected into the grants network. So would a grant fund that 300,000 or user, how is it funded?
Well, the hope is to fund it would be that the developer of the hub would help to fund it, since it's getting the development there. That was Ally Gant's idea. We have not approached them yet. But that was one of the ideas, and that has come into like a larger question about doing 1% for developers for public art and bringing that back up, that discussion back.
So in your grant network, is the money available? Is there a place that you've gone for grants in your contacts?
I think for me, I have contacts at the NEA, and I think we can get possibly a Main Street grant for that. We hope to go for we will definitely have to get fundraising will have to be done for it. $300,000 is a lot of money, and I don't have all that money in the public art fund. So I'm realistic about that. I know it's a lot. Yeah.
Clemson University partner with us?
We were hoping to do it ourselves.
Is there any kind of recording that's done?
No recording at all. The only recording that is done of people who put it, do their own recording and put it on social media. But there's no recording done by the portal itself or the people who run it.
Do you anticipate any pushback with it being at the hub?
Probably. Yeah, I expect pushback.
Anytime. I just know there's already been concerns that the hub is going to kind of, or at least the residents of the hub may dominate Abernathy Park once it's there.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be pushback for it. Yeah, I'm sure. But when Nathan brought it up, it's a great idea. It hasn't been built yet. It's a great spot looking over Abernathy Park, and it will have traction with people walking around.
It would definitely be very cool.
Yeah.
Put Clemson on the map, sure, yeah.
Maybe there's a way to design it, program it, that it actually would attract people other than students, because that's one of the concerns about the hub. It was like the park, it become a student place. So maybe this actually would be something that would attract non-student adults through whatever, I don't know, not speak about anything I know, but through how you program it, or I don't know, but maybe it's a way to overcome the hub stigma as opposed to the hub stigma overcoming that.
Well, the hope is that it will bring everybody from Clemson out to look at it. I know that it's been very popular in the other cities. Now the other cities are bigger. I'm very familiar. I know that as well. I'm from Philly, so we were all very excited when we got one. Yeah, I just think for Clemson to be able, if we can get one here, I just really think it would put us on the map for tourism and residents, and definitely for the public art.
Do you need anything from us?
No, we just wanted your feedback and, any questions that you had. We actually have a tentative meeting scheduled with Nicholas tomorrow with the team just to move forward with the feasibility study. And then once we do the feasibility study, we'll come back and give you an update and see where we are as far as that. And then I hope to be able to do a little more research for funding and, that we can approach the developer and see what they think.
Great, sounds wonderful.
It's a good, even if we don't get it in the end, it is a good process, and it will be good for us to go through something that's really large, and to go through the process. So, yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, Joan, for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I think as far as our, the next thing would just be the maintenance, which is they're not here, but you can read through all the stuff that they do, which is a lot.
I was going, and addressing what Crystal asked, we did hire one person, Daniel Rogers, who had been working at the university, and he needed a change, and he is great.
Awesome.
So we are advertising for that other position also, but we have hired him, and he fits right in with us, our people. I just wanted to update about the position at CAM. Mr. Kemp is on the committee. Also, we have had 2 meet and greets with 2 candidates. We have one other one next Thursday. I think it's on the 28th with Morgan Robinson. So that will be our 3 final candidates, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah, I hope they, she's the only lady that
Yes.
applied, yeah, so I hope she work out pretty good.
I was at 2 of them so far, the 2, and they're both gentlemen were excellent candidates. Where they have a tough decision to make when it comes down to it. The 2 we had were very good. One was a local young man,
Yeah.
and the other one was from my hometown, Georgetown. So from originally, even though we've been all over another place too after that. But I thought both of them did an excellent job interviewing and talking to the people that were in attendance for that. So. All right, Jay, you have something on the wheelchair accessibility space?
Yes, there was a picture of it in your packet. The Youth Leadership Academy in Easley and the Clemson University Learning Institute. They sort of partner and fundraise, and we will be the 3rd municipality. There's one in Easley and one in Pickens. We are the 3rd one to receive this. We're going to place it at Ashley Deering Park, right behind the restrooms, where can access it from that sidewalk right there. I've met with utilities and engineering, and they're going to, we should have it shipped here in the next week, hopefully. The ribbon cutting will be September the 25th for this year. We had it at October the 2nd, but the Learning Institute has a board meeting on the 25th. So it's going to be in conjunction with it. So we're very excited about that.
Sounds great. All right, Nettles Park parking and pickleball updates.
All right, so y'all have seen anybody that's ridden by there has seen the popularity of our courts. So we finally got them rearranged, and they've been a hit. They're full in the mornings and afternoons and evenings.
I went by there one day, and it was full in the morning when all the seniors were there. And I sat down on the bench and I was talking to some of them, just seeing how they were talking about stuff. And they were all extremely happy, but they asked for one thing. Can we do something about the sun glaring off the car windows into their face?
They already have a workaround for that.
And they did. They did.
Turn the
Park
cars
on
around.
the other side.
Yeah,
I read about the drama on the Facebook group.
They talked to me about that. Of course, there was a laugh. They were just funny there, but they did figure it out and park on the other side. So they did good. They were they're very happy with everything down there. They're very happy. So, and I have one question, which I asked the dog park. I keep getting questions about the dog park.
That's a good question. That the soil we're trying to get grass grow there, and it's been very hard, but they're still trying some different ideas.
Yeah, in talking to Tony once, he said it falls really back to the people that built the area, right? Is that right? So they're the ones that's really getting involved with the people that built that whole area, are the ones that's supposed to get the grass going and stuff. And the weather just hasn't cooperated with them.
Yes, no.
I mean, the weather just was so hot.
And you mean the existing dog park, not
the new dog park.
You mean the new one? Okay.
The existing one, you got only get grass
Right, that's
grow
what I
there.
thought. It's on
Sun and shade. But the new dog park is what we're talking about. So to Tony, they're working on it, and it's just one of those complicated things. It's just not working for them. That's what Tony told me on
The
that.
walking trail is open and all that, so.
I have one suggestion. I think the pickleball courts could use a porta-john. Because if you have to use the restroom, where are the restrooms at Nettles? Right at the entrance?
Concession.
Oh, up at the concessions? Okay, because I've been walking down to the big playground.
No, that's why that, the trail
Okay,
that goes up there.
okay, that probably, it's just hard if I'm playing with my kids, we all have to go, because it's too far away for me to leave them at the courts. So, I'd like a porta-john.
That's and I'm sure that in the next year or two there.
Because they have one down at the lower fields.
Yeah.
That I guess is maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll look into to that.
That's one thing the seniors did not tell me about,
Well-
but I'm sure they would like to have one.
I mean, I don't play in the mornings, but, like I said, if I take my kids, it's kind of hard. One of us has to go, we all have to go, so.
All right, and along with that, Jay, we finished with that part, Jay?
Yeah.
All right, the next thing, we having a problem or situation with the discussion of the pickleball court hours. So we need to discuss that and come to a decision, which I don't know if it goes to council or whether it goes to just aware, but we gotta discuss that and see what we're doing. To give you some brief background, a while back, city council passed an ordinance, and came from us, about the hours for the park, which were, Jay, will you help me out on that?
6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, 6 in the morning to 11. Well, it so happens that that's the hours of the park. So that's an ordinance for the city of Clemson. Well, the lights and all, Jay have the lights on most of the parks are controlled by a computer. I think Jay can control them.
Yes.
They go off and they're not that dark. Unfortunately, the pickleball courts are on solar, photocell. They don't go off at night. So we're having people go down there and playing all night, different hours of the night, which I don't understand why people want to do that. But they go down there and play all hours of the night, and then it's causing, I guess, a problem with neighbors are complaining about that, about people being over there. So I don't know exactly, Jay, I want to go from here.
Well,
from me.
Duke Energy, the perfect answer is cut the lights out at a certain time. But the photocell lights, Duke Energy is working on the technology to set a timer on these. They don't have it yet. Hopefully it won't be long, and then we will not have a problem. But the neighbors, they are complaining.
About the lights or the noises?
The noise, not the lights. The bing, 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 bing,
It's
bing.
yeah, I can see that.
So there is, we have looked into a product that's a soundproofing netting put on that one end by the neighborhood. So we're looking at putting it in, but they want us to make a recommendation to take the council on the hours it closes. Do we want to do the park hours or earlier? It all comes, no matter what time, we have to have help with enforcement. So,
Well, personally, it seems logical that the lights should have timers on them, from the beginning, should have timers. And secondly, we've already got it set up with an ordinance with our time in there. So as the winter comes on, obviously it's gonna get dark, say 5 o'clock. And people are still gonna wanna play from 5 till 10, which would be by our park hours legitimate, 11, until 11. So that would be a legitimate thing to wanna do. So the lights technically should be on between, say, 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock. And then, but at 10 o'clock they go up, they 11. I keep saying 10, 11 o'clock, my bad, 11 o'clock.
you help make that policy.
I'm senior moment. So I don't know what, I mean, I don't know what, tell me what y'all think we need to take to city council.
To me, it's just easy to be consistent, but I feel like you're gonna have the same problem when the skate park fully opens. People are gonna wanna do whatever they wanna do whenever they wanna do it.
Sure.
So, but if, I feel like it's gonna get too complicated, be like, these 3 parks close at 10, this court's open till 7. I mean, that's just too much to manage, even for a participant, not even just enforcement. So to me, it's like, whatever it is, it just needs to be uniform across the city.
And the hours of the park the hours of all the parks being the same would make a lot of sense.
Is the neighbors gonna be satisfied at 11, them stopping, or they think that's too late?
They just,
They just want to end time?
yes.
Okay. I think, pickleball is a positive activity. I think they should play as long as they can, so I'm fine with 11.
So there's really two issues though, right, if I understand. One is the hour to close. I agree, I think it should close like all the other parks.
Yes.
It sounds like the second issue is what do you do if they don't leave at 11 in terms of enforcement until the lights can be taken care of? What do we do with the other parks? Someone just drives around from the police department to see if people are gone, or what do we do?
The police patrol those.
You can't lock a gate at the hospital quarter or anything.
Well, you lock the gate, they're jumping the fence.
People are crazy about pickleball.
I mean, apparently they play it at 2 a.m.
But so maybe Jay, and I don't, it sounds like the pickleball community are very organized people. And why not ask them, just say, listen, we're gonna keep this open till 11. If you cannot deal with that, we're gonna have to close it at 10, just so we can clean people out on our own. And won't they self-enforce?
It's the students.
Oh,
It's the
never
students that are,
mind.
it's not the locals,
Never mind.
it's the students
Although-
that.
Never mind.
Although,
Nope.
we'll say, this was happening before they came back.
They're summer students, okay.
I would think in.
Nobody our age stays up that late.
To play pickleball.
Maybe people are getting up at 3 to
Yeah.
play.
That's what we would do.
But I think we got the hours are there.
Are they posted on the pickleball courts?
They're posted, yes.
Okay.
And as you pull into park, there's that
Yeah.
park hours. And then 2 rule signs, the hours are the first
Well,
thing.
the neighbors can call the police and say if they hear people, and they can
They
do a
do.
drive-by.
They do.
So what happens if you're there after hours? Is there a fine? Is there a thing?
It could be. Yes, sir.
Right now, they're probably just asking them to leave kindly, I assume.
Yeah, but if it's students, they'll leave until they see the police leave. They'll be right back. They really will.
Yes. But they would like a recommendation from y'all on the closing hours.
Well, this would be way simpler if the lights would cut out.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Do we really need a recommendation on closing hours? It sounds like there are closing hours, there's just a lack of compliance with the closing hours.
But even if you change the closing hours, the lights are still on.
Yeah, like
And like I
altering
said-
closing hours is not gonna do anything, because it's the lack of compliance is the problem.
They don't have the power to solve.
And I'd rather them be playing pickleball than driving
Right.
cars under the influence, or what else
Right.
they could be doing.
No, it sounds as if, recommendation would be to follow the park hours.
That's why we follow the park hours and work on getting the lights to cut off at 11
Sir.
o'clock.
It's kind of mind-boggling that Duke Energy doesn't have the technology of a light timer
That's what they say with the,
with the big photo cell, yeah.
yes, sir. Right, Kyle, yeah.
So Jay, just sort of official, I'll make a motion
There you go.
that we support the normal hours being the hours there and urge Duke Power to work on this.
They are,
plan.
they are.
And so I'll make
We've been
that
urging.
motion.
Is it,
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
What is it, to clarify, I think it's like we're extending park hours to courts, is what it, like, is that?
We're just
I think it's already the same.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was just wondering, like, I was wondering how we got here, but I get it. But I'm thinking, like, in case people were thinking the pickleball court is not a park, it's a court. Or I don't know if it's split. And so it's just all city parks and things of that nature. So it's the skate park and all that stuff too.
So when the park closes, the court's closed?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Yeah.
Is there, I'm sorry, I'm a criminologist at the university that's like studies the police. Is there no, have we talked to CPD to see if they will like set up a routine of like having somebody just cut through the park every night at like 11:15, give everybody a warning, you see the same guy out there, then we do the fine?
Yes, sir.
Just not working. It sounds like.
And make sure that the interval to visit varies every night, because the students pretty quickly, 11:15, let's go, just for a minute or two.
Yes.
There's worse things.
Just right now, as far as I know, Jay, the skate park and pump track do not have lights.
That's correct.
So they won't have lights.
Won't have lights.
They won't have lights, just as a FYI. All right, so we have a motion that we support the hours and to, I guess, to encourage Duke Power to continue working, and that and I want to add, can I add to it that to encourage the police department to enforce that? Would that be okay or somehow to say that?
I mean, it's not high priority, I don't think.
Don't enforce it anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's their-
Or just say the hours, we
Just help with it, I guess.
make it simple. Is that okay, Fran?
Talk about Porta Johns after this.
So Jay, when you started the recreation business, did you think your major concern would be dogs?
No, sir. And pickleball.
Dogs.
No, sir. Not in
It does seem like.
1984, I did not.
Dog parks and pickleball.
Oh, okay, so I guess we say all in favor of that, of the motion, raise your right hand, please. And I think Crystal was in favor of it too. Okay. All right, Art Center building update quickly.
Okay. They are moving ahead with the Art Center out at Nettles. They are moving ahead with only the Art Center part, not the community events section. So it's the arts, and they're working with the company on the first phase, and getting architectural drawings and all.
Remind me the location of where that was going in Nettles.
It's off of Porter Road. It's on the top,
Okay.
the highest point of the land.
That's not a little bit further up than behind the softball field, correct?
Yes.
A little bit further up.
Yes, sir. Joan and I have walked up there, and it's.
You like it, Joan?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It'll be beautiful.
Is there a timeline?
Well, hopefully within 2 years or so.
Nathan told me March of 2027. So we shall see. Yeah.
It's a good goal. Yeah.
I figured at least 2 years.
All right. Okay, we voted on that, Crystal, while you
Yes,
were on there. didn't you?
yes, I voted
Um,
yes to that.
So next, we got the Art Center, and I'm very happy that's going in there. The next three things are kind of important and big things that we're going to go over. If you don't mind, I want to skip down to community connections real quick so we can get those little things out of the way before we hit those other three things, if that's okay with everyone on the agenda. Community Connections coming up. Sarah, are you gonna take over that one?
Happy to do it.
Happy to do it.
Yeah.
Your last, the one that came out in the recent one was the summer one?
Yep.
And that was very good in the summer one.
My suggestion is pickleball courts.
Straight
Well, it's a hot item.
It is hot.
You can interview some people and some. Right.
Mention the hours,
The
mention the
hours.
hours.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go hang out there at 3 a.m. and interview some people.
Let's see, then, we'll have to save new business till the end, I guess, unless somebody has some new business.
Well, I can give an update on our new rec software. We are about to finish our training, and it's hopefully going live on October the 1st. It's with Civic Plus. They all already have our website. So, but this is a true rec software, and it's hopefully a lot more user-friendly than what we have right now.
And when should it go into?
October 1st.
And October 1st. I missed
Yes,
it.
sir.
All right, any other new business anybody wants to bring up for any reason, real quick? I have one small chairman's report. Back in this June, was it June? There was a group that met down in Abernathy Park, and I was on that one from us, plus Jay was there, and plus other administrative people from the city, plus the firm that's going to be developing and redoing Abernathy Park. And we walked through the park and talking about different things along the way that we were looking to, let's use the term, I think the team they use is enhance. Down at the park now, they use it enhancing. And so they've got some great ideas we're giving out on the enhancing of the park. It's all gonna take trying to jive it all where it comes together, because we reported to us a sewer line is going to go through there, which is gonna mess up a lot of the park. Of course, the hub is being built, which is making access to it very difficult. So they're trying to make sure, they're trying to get all this to finish up at the same time. The city is, this is not gonna be an easy thing, because they want the hub, they want the new park, they want the sewer done. Sewer's gotta get done for the park, because it comes right down through the middle of some of the land part of the park. It's gonna, they got to get that done, and that's gonna take a while. So we're looking at probably getting in the 2-year range before it's all finally said and done. Hopefully sooner, but in that range. There was a meeting, and then there's, like I said, some of the ideas that we've come up with are fantastic, but they're gonna have a community can come and talk and listen to the ideas. It's on August the 26th, and there's 2 times. There's a lunch time. I can't remember the exactly timings on it.
There's a sign right out front.
Yeah, I
when you
was gonna
leave,
say,
yeah.
right outside the door, there's a sign with the times on it. There's a lunch time, and then there's an evening time, I think, that you can come.
12:30 to 2 or 5:30 to 7:30.
There you go. Y'all get that? 12:30 to 2, 5:30 to 7:30. It's going to be on the 26th, and I assume it's going to be out here here, right outside in this room or wherever. Out there in there. So if you can come by, give us an input. But we're really watching over that. It's going. I mean, some of the ideas are going to be fantastic. That they if we can pull them all off, and so there's some new additions. Parking is going to be good. Buildings, new buildings, the whole walkway is going to be still going to be there. We're not taking it away, just going to redo it to make it sure it's good. What they're going to do, make sure it's it's going to clean up the shoreline. All that stuff is involved with that, and so we're really looking at. But we want to get some more input from the community and what they want. So we're really watching over that and keeping up with that. So is there any other quick questions about that for me? And then Jay.
Like Fran had mentioned earlier, we want to keep this as a community park. And we're pushing that.
Yes. Oh, that was definitely brought up many, many times, that it's not part of the hub. This is not part of the hub. So that's been brought up many, many times with the people. And I think the idea is getting across. And I'm sure it's, obviously some students are gonna go down there, of course, but I think it's gonna be good. Accessibility is gonna be easy for people to get onto it, if we follow through with what their ideas. And so, anyway, but if you can come to any one of those meetings and listen to the people, look at the ideas, give some ideas, it'd be fantastic.
You have any ideas? This is your time to express them.
So are there meetings drop-ins or is that actual
Yes.
programs? They're drop-ins.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ian.
Also, they're gonna have different areas, stations, where you rotate. Yes, sir.
All right, I think that, now, let's go back to I skipped over the three things that's gonna take us a little while to go over. First one is that all of you probably got this in the mail, and I got several copies for some reason. They must have really wanted me to have me really understand what's going on. I got an email and 2 copies in the mail.
You need that many copies, Bill?
What?
You need that many copies?
Yeah, I was going, Robert really wanted me to understand it. But anyway, it's the code of ethics. This is a recent thing. I'll give you a little bit of background. This is a recent that came up with the city council. They passed it, I would say, a month or so ago. The code of ethics, conduct, and all, they passed that. But it's for city council and all the committees and commissions and whatever that goes under that. And it's sort of for us, basically. And so we're supposed to discuss it, be aware of what it is, make sure you've read it, and you understand what you can and can't say and do outside of here, type of thing with the public. I looked up. This is basically to ensure a level of professionalism that allows for the discussion of topics. It helps to ensure ethical and respect among all the people involved. That's sort of the basis of which is kind of what the first paragraph there probably said. And if you did read this, a long read, so if you did get a chance to read through it, since Robert wanted me to send me all those copies, I did read it for him. And I did look up some other things about it. I'm not gonna go through and read all the stuff in there because unless you have questions about it, I'll be glad to go over what I looked up on that. AI helps a lot on all this stuff. And so anyway, but if you read through, there's a section about ethics, and it talks about that, and there's about 12 different things that points out in the ethics part of it, 13 of them. That talked about conduct, that goes through that, and all the different things that and again, y'all can read this, I'm not gonna read all this to you. Then it talks about let's see, elected and appointed official conduct with the public, basically how we communicate with the public outside of here or wherever, how we deal with the stuff, which is probably hopefully not too heavy that we have to ever deal with. Something like what city council obviously would have much heavier stuff to have to deal with in doing that type of thing. Elected and appointed officials conduct with the city staff, how we might deal with some city staff members or some questions, which we probably wouldn't have that much to deal with, but in case we did, and that. And then, of course, it goes, the last thing is sanctions. Talks about if somebody does break, messes up, what sanctions can be proposed. It's one of these things, it's a document that is in-house. So it's within house. So if one of us is doing something that shouldn't be, then you have to you can report that to me, the chairman, or if I'm messing up, then you report it to Crystal, and then we deal with what we have to do to go through that. But the same thing, each committee, commission, whatever, would be doing the same thing. And city council would be doing the same thing. And then report it in there. The public doesn't come and, I was talking to Jeremiah today, the public doesn't come and say, hey, Bill, you're doing something wrong, blah, 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 you know, this, it's in-house kind of thing, with us. And then the city staff, all the staff members that are hired by city staff, they have HR to take care of their situation. So that they don't fall necessarily under this umbrella. They have their own stuff to look at. So this is something that's come up, like I said, within the past maybe 2 months or so, that the city council actually passed this. It's quite as extensive. Whoever wrote all this up really had to do some research getting all this together. Now, with all my background information, which I hope was worth it, does anybody have anything you want to say or comment about anything? The main thing I got from Jeremiah, which Jeremiah is the city clerk, he just said just to make sure we were aware of what it is and that we read it and understand where we're going with it. That was the main thing that we had to do with it.
Are we supposed to sign something?
No, we don't.
No? Okay.
No, I was not aware of anything like that.
This is just for information.
Yeah. My understanding, Bill, tell me if I'm right, is that only applies when we're functioning in our official capacity. So
Correct.
for instance, I write a blog that's sometimes a little bit edgy and might be critical, but that doesn't apply to me in my non-related life, right? It's really only when we're functioning. Now, I don't mean just when we're here, like if I was in the park representing us, but I can be as unethical as I want in my private life, if I understand it, right? And not have to follow those guidelines if it's not this committee related for me.
And Jeremiah said if you have any questions, contact him and he can.
Yeah, he said if there's anything we didn't answer here and you were unsure of, to contact him and he would be glad to explain
He
it.
said in his letter to us that we did have to sign something, didn't he?
It seems like it,
I kind of feel like it's not binding if we don't sign it.
but I've talked with Jeremiah a couple of times and he's never mentioned that.
I saw that in his first email 2 weeks. Maybe I may be making that up.
I can find the email. I just assumed we
We'll
would
find
sign
out,
it.
Dave.
That's one thing we can find out. But he never, this is at least twice I've talked with him about it, maybe 3 times counting on the phone with Jay that day, and he never mentioned anything about that. But that's definitely a good question to ask, and we'll find out. But that makes a very good point, though.
Doesn't say anything.
No.
No? Doesn't say anything about signing it.
Yeah. I think somehow in all that communication, I would have got that, but anyway, y'all got some of the same stuff I did then, didn't you?
Yeah, I got email and mail copy.
I got 2 more copies. All right, thank you all for that. I'm glad it didn't take longer than, coaching background check policy.
Okay, we've had a policy, we have used one that Central had for the last 8 years, but we didn't have this committee, so we never officially ratified it, I guess. So we went in and changed some of the wording to address our department. And to be official, I just wanted y'all to approve this document.
So this is not policy right now?
Well, it worded differently, but this is the yeah. We had a document.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's a procedure. It's currently what we're operating under. It's just
Yes.
yeah.
the background checks, all coaches do a background check, and these are the disqualifiers. And where if they have one of these, they cannot coach. The department pays for all the background
Yeah, because
checks.
there's a cost for the background checks.
Yes.
And it's, what's the term they use, vetting someone, or whatever, going through
Yes.
all that?
Yes.
Well, that's the term they use now, to go through all that, but it's just to make sure that we have the right kind of people.
Yes.
Coaching our teams.
Coaching our kids.
And I think we haven't had any problem
No.
that I'm aware of,
No.
you know, and, so but it's just, I guess it's what Jay and them put together, is just making it official now.
Right.
That we have
Since we have this committee now to officially approve this.
Is anything on that, you read through it, did that make something you want to ask about? All to me, pretty logical.
Yeah, what's the rationale behind some of the years? So some of, like, for example, it says all misdemeanor violence offenses within the last 7 years. For example, simple assault, battery, domestic violence, hit and run. So you could have like domestic violence, but it was 8 years ago, so you're good.
Well, we got these are,
Is this like industry standard? I guess is what I'm
yes,
asking.
yes. There's some other organizations that have the same ones, yes. Yes, sir.
So I guess at this point, if it's not, discuss, we can have a motion that we accept this, and then a second for that, and then more discussion if we'd like after that.
The only thing I see is, it looks like, I feel like background checks should be done like yearly or every 3 years or something. And it looks like if a coach keeps coaching, he never has to do one.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's good.
But maybe, I know that elementary school, you have to do one every 3 years.
Our church is doing every 3 years,
But,
Every year.
you know, there's only like 1 or 2 people that are continuously coaching, so probably, and we know who those are. So, I don't know, I feel like just a little safety concern, not rechecking somebody that stays in the system.
So why don't y'all include in your recommendation how often?
What's the cost of the back, do you know?
They're like,
$25,
Yeah.
because we do them too.
yeah, we all do.
But does your background check would work for his system too, or no, are they two separate?
They're two separate, but we do them every year just because we have turnover.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to do it every year.
I mean, the reason I asked the price, because I don't have to monitor it, but if I was the one having to keep up with all the coaches, I feel like it would be really confusing to be like,
When was the last time you had one?
this group is up for a renewal on the background check.
That's
this
why I
group
say just
isn't.
do it
Like,
every year.
That's what I was like. I feel like it's every year or never. But I mean, I feel like every year it's the only way to keep track of it, so you don't get caught missing
Right.
someone in the background check process.
Would you have to do it would you say the year, at the beginning of the sport? Because
Yeah.
at the beginning of the sport,
Okay.
correct?
We do them all at the beginning of each season, yes.
Each season,
Yes.
each season, because you'd have to do it then because you don't know
yeah.
who's gonna coach in the.
That's what we do.
You could have them though, when they're certified, whatever, just give them a letter saying that. And then if they are a coach the next year and the next year, they can just show you the letter up to 3 years. So you don't every year have to pay the $25 again, right? So they can, and you don't have to keep the record. Essentially, the coach is responsible to, so if it's my year 2, I just need to show you the verification that I've done this within the last 3 years because it's the dated letter. And I think it just will save some money and some organization.
Sure.
But every coach would have to show you that. And if it's outdated, then they'd have to repeat it. So even if they did it 1 year and then laid out a year, they could still come back the third year,
Right.
the letter would still be, the date would still be active, right?
And then that way it's the coach's responsibility. If they lose the letter or the email, then they'll just have to do it again, yeah.
Whatever. Oh,
Did I hear you went more often than 3 years?
No, I'm just saying, rather than the city system having to count on it, because that opens you up to some legal liability if there's some kind of glitch and that person disappears, it's the responsibility of the coach to have that verification of the background check that you would provide, and it's dated for 3 years.
But as a coach, I'd be like, just run it again.
yeah.
Like, keep running it if you need to every time.
But it's
I don't-
$25.
But,
and
I mean, the coach doesn't pay for it.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
the city does, I'm just
No,
saying.
yeah.
So,
I got one more comment too about it, is we're real loose on our assistant coaches, and I feel like they don't ever get vetted
Right.
through the system. So I don't know how that can be done better. Because that's like a very casual, informal process when you have an assistant coach.
We do it. Now, we do head coaches, like you say. That's a good question. If some of them have like 3 assistants, we don't know.
I know. But those kids are coaching all, I mean, those adults are coaching
Sure.
also.
Sure.
I can definitely see where.
Because a coach is out of town sometimes, so they leave
Yeah.
responsibility to their
Right.
assistant coach to run a practice.
Right.
It happens every season, every team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree, 100%.
I just don't know how to manage.
Seemed like when at our church, when I had to do it every year when we were working with the Vacation Bible School and stuff like that. Well, my wife and I would seem like, but I don't.
But see, like, we're talking about 2 things now. One, how often are we doing the
Head
coaches we know about? And then we have a group of assistant coaches that volunteer their time, but they're not really vetted through
Right,
the rec department.
Definitely, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
2,
yeah.
I think it's 2 conversations there.
right.
I don't know how you can.
I don't know how you can control that.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, in some situations I've heard of, they only allow a coach and 2 assistants, and that's it. No one else can be involved with the team coaching wise. Now but I don't know what level that falls down, and
It's hard to monitor.
Yeah, so there's no, how would you enforce that?
Because dad may stay
Okay.
and help with practice one day or something like that, which.
Christie said, we do head coaches every 2 years. Now, so we already have that.
So that document needs to be updated, because it doesn't say that.
No.
It just says the first time.
Oh,
The document just says that they're checked the first time they coach. It doesn't say every 2 years.
yeah,
In that 3rd paragraph,
okay,
that's where it is.
all right. Yes. All right, yeah.
That's good. I mean, it sounds like the timing issue is solved, that you already have something in place
Yes.
to follow up every 2 years.
Yes, 2 years. So, Fran, we do it every 2 years.
Routinely.
Yes, sir. But assistant coaches, we'll be thinking about that, and I can check with other.
I mean, like, when I coached basketball, my husband was the assistant coach.
Right.
And he never had a background check.
Right.
So,
It might be weird, because they can list it when they sign up, you can list an assistant coach.
It's as.
I know there's a casual part, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
say you, the ones that do truly list the ones with you, if you get 50% of the assistant coaches through the background check, that's better than the 0 we were getting before. I know it costs more money, but you're still vetting some more people who are interacting with it.
Right.
But I mean, that's something y'all can work out internally and then
Okay,
come back, but I think, some's better than none.
There's no formal process for assistant coach.
So it's been years since I've done youth sport with kids, but, so if a parent volunteers to help, does that become a coach? What is the?
I think it's when they're left alone with the team by
And the
themselves.
coach is not there.
Okay,
Right,
so
with the,
a-
like
any-
That's what we're talking about. And
So if it happens to be a parent who does that, they would then count as a coach.
I think so.
I can talk, I know I'm a friend with John Sadler that has his own coach's insurance. I can ask him.
It just needs to be investigated. How can we be better about the assistant coaches being background checked?
Okay. I can handle that. You got it.
I mean,
Okay.
technically, it does say no one is allowed on the playing, practice field, court, locker room, or any other venue where a recreation function takes place, unless asked to by, as an assistant coach. So it does, the policy as written says that's what designates you as an assistant coach. So you could, I guess, add that if anyone's gonna step on the field, they should have had a background check done. Yeah, I agree. I'm not.
It's definitely not happening.
Yeah.
For this, it's not in practice right now, that's not happening.
And that, yeah.
It sounds like for now that we got clarity on the 2 years, I think
Yes.
that it sounds like agreement or proposed to accept your thing as amended with every 2 years, and then your team's going to explore
Yes.
some assistant coach possibilities.
Yes.
So Jay, what do you want us to do with, do we want to make a motion that we accept it?
We can put in our motion that we approve it as long as the frequency of the background check is updated to the correct frequency.
Yes. That's no problem.
So that was our motion, that we accept it with the
2 year.
were you making the motion?
Sure, so I'll move that we accept the City of Clemson coaching policy, provided that the information about 2-year background checks is updated to be consistent with current policy.
Right. Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, right hand, please. Okay, all right, that doesn't have to go anywhere to city council, does it, Jay?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, the last thing, and we got 15 minutes if you want to stay on schedule here. Adult softball league discussion. Okay, then, if you saw Jay's, I'm gonna start off, if you saw on Jay's thing, he sent where he investigated some different towns and what they did with that. And it was a mixed bag there. A lot of places didn't even offer adult situation. But some did, and they called it church, some called it adult, some called it open, some called it different things. So it was a variety of things. If I'm correct, JJ, correct me, right now the volleyball is called adult volleyball. So it's already
Volleyball and basketball is played in the central CCRC.
But I
The
think
building is in central. The central officials have said it will remain church league. We're just emphasizing softball.
I was just giving you some little bit of background. Then, if I saw some of the advertisements for volleyball, Jay, said adult volleyball, did it not?
Adult church volleyball.
Said church volleyball.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, that's over in Central, and so that's the way Central has had their policy. So what we're talking about is our softball right now, and right now it's called church softball. And so we've got to decide, we got to take it to city council, what we recommend it being called, and why, I guess, and why, for there. So anybody have any discussion on that now?
Jay, when is the next cycle that church softball league will begin? In other words, so can we tell city council that we're gonna explore this further?
Spring.
Because, so nothing needs to be done to advertise that, and that's not until whatever, right?
Right.
So I guess I would recommend we not blink on this, but let city council know that we aren't ready to come to a decision. And,
Right.
and give them a deadline or something based on what
Sure.
your schedule.
We do have another option. We were approached by a softball player about starting his own league in the fall on Wednesday nights. Fall league. So we had a meeting with him, and he is very interested in running at the spring league, and we would just, as Greenwood and Dylan, rent out our fields. And he runs the league. That's another option.
All at church league, doesn't matter to him?
That's up to him.
He's just reserving the field under his,
Renting
and then paying whatever
our
we charge.
fields. Yes, yes. And then the city is out of,
So
You
that'd
have
be-
to maintain the fields for
Yeah.
him. You have to maintain the fields for him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'd be a little bit of a stretch, but would this be similar to how the swim team operates?
yes,
Okay. They just rent out the pool and run their own
Yes.
league. Yep.
that's exactly
And they would do their own registration, it wouldn't be through our portal.
right. They would sign up, everything.
And all the liability would be his? Who would?
Yes.
He's just a human being person?
He would have to provide us with
Insurance.
certificate of insurance. Yes, sir.
I hate to be materialistic, but what's in it for him?
He loves softball.
Did you say who it was or what his name was or anything?
Trevor Buchanan.
He would
He
set
probably
fees.
wants to do local coaching or,
He would set.
I'm sure he's
fee-
getting money out of
fees.
somehow, an LLC, something run.
He's got, yeah, he's on teams that play everywhere. He's got contacts, so I mean,
So he would collect and manage the fees?
everything.
So you're just leasing the fields and we're out of it?
That's it. Yes, sir.
sounds like a good moneymaker.
But you would have the city would have to have some guidelines and stipulations in terms of.
Not necessarily.
For you.
No.
I mean, we have guidelines when you rent a park
Yeah.
and rent
Yes.
so the same, those same
Yeah.
guidelines, yeah.
The same as
renting it.
the people that have weekend tournaments, they just rent and that's it.
So we could not wait till our next meeting because he wants to be up and running before.
Well, no. Fall, we can just lease it because we don't have a fall league because of there's no place to play.
So we could use the fall as sort of a test case and gather information and see.
Yes,
how it
sir.
runs.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
So that, and then we could wait until after that to decide on this
Yes, sir.
church title. If not, we're
Yes,
not
sir.
having to worry about anything until.
Yes, sir.
So I would suggest that's what we tell city council, that we're not dropping it, but we're doing more investigation and that's going to be part of it. That's just my thought.
That's fine.
That sounds really good, because it's not, we got a while before we have to worry about that. And city council's not in a hurry, I don't see what that
No,
thing.
sir.
So do we need a motion for that, Jay?
I would say, and then when you present the pickleball hours, who would do this also?
Well, that's why I was going to combine the two of them.
Yes, sir.
So, unless, all right, so do I have a motion with that?
So let me try this. So the motion would be that we will continue to investigate the church league title, and gather more information. I guess we could say including this proposal or not, and make a decision. So what meeting would we have to make a decision, Jay, for you?
Next one, right?
Probably November 1 at the earliest.
So we could do it would you have enough data, information on the November one for how this fellow's plan's working out to give us a sense? So I'll make the motion that we continue to investigate this and we'll take it up again at our November meeting.
Have a second?
Yes, second.
Second. Any more discussion? I think that's a very good thing. I know, one of the things we're gonna have to keep in mind is that, you know, we gotta make a decision, maybe it's in November, because there will be some potential people changing over, and by the next meeting.
Yeah.
By the next time we meet in, you know, what's the next one, January, February?
November, and then
See, December,
What's
January,
the November date?
February, there are 6 of us that
right.
potentially are rolling off, you know, me, them, and Kyle, I think, and Michael, I think, and all Misty and Robert. There's 6 of us that are rolling off. So then potentially could be a whole.
You could roll off.
Could roll off, right, could roll off.
So why
Could
don't
roll
we
off.
make the motion that we will decide at our November meeting?
Yeah, because that.
Well, and his plans are to run his league from mid-September to the end of October. So we'll have the information. And I'm sure if I ask him, we'll come to our meeting in November and answer.
I think we should have a
Question.
report from him too, maybe by
Yes.
then, yeah. I
Sure.
think that'd be good.
So, yeah,
And JC, your sense is that you would be ready to give us your recommendation in November also?
Yes.
Because you had a seed with him and.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
yes, sir.
So we've got a motion and we've got a second. And any further discussion? All in favor of that motion that we said, raise your hand. Okay. Thank you very much. Passes then. I will be making that, now, if someone would like to make the presentation to the city council, I'll be more than happy to let them. Not I'll do it, of course.
I believe he wants to do it the September 15th.
I'll be here. I'm going out of town the 16th, but I'll be here on the 15th.
Okay. Right on time, then.
That's Tuesday or Monday night. Yeah, I'm going out of town the 16th.
When
That's
is the
good.
November meeting?
November the
19th or
19th, 18th, I'm sorry.
18th. Oh, it's on my calendar.
Yes.
All right, is there any further, we're actually going to finish at 8 o'clock.
2 hours, man.
I thought it was going to take, any other further, anybody want to bring up any more new business or anything at this time? And do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
Motion adjourned?
Any seconds? All in favor of adjourning? We adjourned at looks like 7:59.
59.
7:59.
Thank you all.
Is there a motion, right?
Yeah, Bailey, I was not
Yeah, I was
criticizing your
gonna ask
minutes.
you.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good.
Thank you all so much for being here.
Maybe Mr. Grant, if you guys
Yeah, it
were
was a great meeting.
do it Tuesday, yeah. I mean, Tuesday, yeah, I mean, we have.